Hi everybody, we're up to tag 35, and what I thought I would do would be just have a quick squiz through my that's an Australian one, through my tags just quickly to look at the colour variations. I do have a lot of pink, but I've got yellows, blues, whites. Ooh, that's a favourite. Oh, that was too. Isn't it good? At the end we'll have the whole year worth, and how exciting. Oh, I feel like I was a bit of slack on that one. Oh, I like that one too. Okay, so it's just, I feel like I needed, that needs ironing. I need a little reminder of what I've been doing, just because I thought, oh no, I'm looking at pink again. Oops. I think I'll use this one that I was going to use last week, but I've got my avocado dyed materials. So I don't necessarily have, I do have now a lot of material because of course since doing that first book with Anne and watching Rachel, I do have quite a bit of material now, but I can't say that any's my favourite because I think it changes. So this is my favourite right at this point in time because I just avocado dyed it and I'm liking it. But I also avocado dyed this bit of white work. It's pretty stiff, but I thought I'd use a bit because that's still a memory, isn't it? Still a memory. All right, so started without being organised again, as usual, as you do. Right, I've got my scissors. All manner of things all over the place. Now, I just got, sorry about the crinkle, these cute little incy-wincy, tiny little flower beads in the post from a scrapbooking shop. And I got this blue pack and yellow pack. Now, I don't know if anyone knows because I feel like all I do is pink on my on my tags. I look through and I go, there's a lot of pink. So it would make sense to maybe use two of these little tiny weeny ones. However, no. I have a real thing for yellow buttons. So if you didn't know that, you do now. And I've got a whole pot somewhere. But, of course, these are new, and one has to have a look and see. Now, I'm not quite sure whether all the yellows will match up with my pink as well. However, I have to edit those crinkles out. Okay, it's in a little... I'll put a link to the shop. I think it was Sydney or it was Queensland, but I'll put a link so you can have a look. However, at least they're in the little thing so they're not flying out everywhere. But it's a mixture. There's sequins. I want to just see if it goes with this pink or not. Sequins. Staticky. Does it go? There's a salmon coloured. That's nice. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't go. Let's have a look. What else is in here? It's always exciting, isn't it? A couple of bucks for a bag of buttons. Can't go wrong with that. I like those sequins. I think they're staying out. If they can stop sticking to my fingers. There's not really any antique-y buttons in here that I can say, but there is a good variety. Look at this one. It's got a word on the outside. Well, that has to go on, doesn't it? And it's got the 4 little holes. Oh, look at this little orange one. I see there's some right gems in here. Fabulous. This is actually, I don't know if you can actually see that on the camera, but it's actually got writing on it. All right, so we're doing all the buttons with writing. This has got beads stuck in there. Oh, they're actually stuck in. That's funny. How do you get them out? There's actually 2 tiny beads stuck in the holes, which won't matter because you can still get your needle through it. I'll just have, oh, there's one. Oh, got them. All right. Don't know about that. Is there a really, oh yes, there is. Oh, look at the size of that. Isn't that divine? Oh, how exciting. There's actually a couple of little blue buttons in here too. A clear button. Oh, there's a real, another cute one. Oh, maybe I have to do 4. Oh, naughty. That's got writing on it as well. That hasn't, but it's so cute. There's a little clear sequin. All right, there's sequins. Okay, anyway, got them to play with. Put them there. Got a backing. Got this. Just seal this. Just looking in here, there's a couple of little tiny buttons in here too. They're like little doll's clothes buttons. Love them. I do love those little doll's clothes buttons. They're so cute. Okay. Without further ado, let's find a bit of lace. I wonder if I've got some yellow lace. This is yellowish, isn't it? What is that? That. That. Oh, isn't that nice? I think I'd like that there. All right, there's that. So, I should get my, okay, I will do that. I'm going to just pin this and then I'll get my quilting mat underneath so as my, I don't know if anyone else gets disturbed by it, but when I'm scrabbling around like that, when I'm editing, I just go bananas at the sound. Just annoys me so much. So I'm going to put that quilting backing down. One sec. Okay, that's better. All right, let's get this down. Haven't auditioned anything else. Oh, I did grab a bluntish needle. All right, so I am going to use the little holes in this like Anne did on hers. Oh no, that's annoying. That's too blunt. Just get this quick one. That's better. Much better. So today is a rainy old day here in Melbourne. We've got another, well, we've got till the 2nd of September on our curfewed lockdown. Word is from a lot of friends that they think, nah, it's going to go longer because the numbers, we only start to drop back on our curfews or our lockdowns So we're in level 4, as I've probably already said, but we only drop back down really when the numbers go down. So the numbers are still up, and by up I mean 50, like unlike Sydney that, well, when we were at our worst in Melbourne, we got our highest was 750 in the state of Melbourne in a day, but Sydney now, which is Sydney's in lockdown, but still not as ever severe as Melbourne. Melbourne has been the place for the worst lockdowns and the most frequent and the most harsh. So yay Melbourne, I love you, but really doing it hard. And Sydney's had 1,000 people, so their lockdown I think is only stage 3, so people don't have to wear masks or anything. So it's interesting to watch how different it is for the different states. And you'd think Melbourne was being a forerunner of how to do it so that you get rid of it, but in actual fact, maybe not. Who knows? Who knows? So yeah, the word is that possibly we're not going to come out of our severe lockdown on the 2nd of September. I went for a nice walk in the park with the lovely man who's getting a little bit disgruntled because we can't see each other because of my home situation and his home situation and lockdown. So, you know, that's how it goes, isn't it? Oh well, what can I do? So the other news is that there may be a big truck strike. That's what the rumour is now, that the truckies are so sick of it and they don't want to necessarily have to have papers saying they've had their vaccinations, etc., just across the border. So the truckies are possibly going on strike on Tuesday. And if they do that, or Tuesday, well, that'll be when this is loaded up. So if they do that, and they want to do a very long strike, we could be in for. It could bring the country down. When you think about it, it's interesting what you think about. What brings a country down? And a truck strike where no one is getting food or toilet paper or any of that sort of stuff. If that went on for a few weeks and there was just no food or supplies being bought in, can you imagine? I don't know. It's not necessarily going to be good for. It's not good for the people. I don't know that the government will care. Don't know. I like this. Right, let's have a look at this. It'll just bring the people down. It won't bring the government down, will it? Some people think it'll bring the government down, but I don't know. Just don't know. No, I don't know about that. No, I don't. Thought it would be good, and then I didn't. And what about this one? Just a bit of that along there. Oh yes, I like that. Now, how do I want to sew this on? Right, I was using this green. Do I want to keep going? Because I don't mind that green with the yellows. I could make it really obvious, like do a whole heap of crosses on there. Right. Let's see what, maybe crosses on the edge. How are we doing this? Crosses. Looks a bit like a garters or something, doesn't it? Or corsetry. Alright, got to get some water. Okay. That's better. Thought I was going to have a coughing fit. Right. So I nearly finished my antibiotics for my sinus infection and minimising any mask wearing that I have to do, so I'm just not wearing a mask down the park. But I do wear one still in the shopping centre, and okay, hoping this second pass of the sinus infection picks up. All I ever seem to be is sick lately. But anyway, let me see, Sunday, so tomorrow's the 30th, so by the time this is uploaded it will be the 1st, which will be the first day of spring here. Hallelujah is all I can say. Yay. It's kind of weird, it's like there's not a lot to look forward to. Except Newman and I were trying to plan a little trip away for a weekend. However, we don't know if we'll be out of... We were going to go next weekend, but we don't know if we'll be out of lockdown. So we've got to wait and find out. We might not be able to go yet. And here's a funny story. So because he's a hard worker and he's been in Australia for 20 odd years, but he's focused on, you know, bringing up his children well and all of that. He actually hasn't seen a lot. He hasn't seen a lot. He's just looked after his kids after he got divorced, and so I said to him, "Oh, I'll take you some places, show you." And he's quite keen because he's at that age, you know. We are. Don't want to be working all the time. We want to have a little bit of fun and time off, be retired. So we were going to go to Phillip Island, of all places, and of course, as someone who is now driving a taxi a lot more because of his other business shutting, we were talking about it for an hour or two. I was telling him the things you can do there and what you can see. At the very next day, he got a surprise cab fare to Phillip Island. Isn't that hilarious? He'd never been there in his life. I talked to him, and then next thing you know, he's off visiting without me. So, isn't that funny? Yeah, so I didn't get to take him, but he went. He drove a man down there, someone who had been in hospital. He took someone who'd been in hospital, and he got a $300 fare to drive all the way down to Phillip Island and see it without me. But at least he got paid well for it. Good on him. Isn't it funny, the things that happen? Anyway, good on him. And he did enjoy it. He said he liked it. He didn't see a lot because he didn't want to ruin it for when we went. But I just laughed for a whole day about, you know, the synchronicity of that. Talking about it for a few hours and then him going there the very next day. Hilarious. Couldn't plan it, could you? Now, I wonder if I'll use just wondering what colour to use for the buttons. Still undecided. I think I want to just do a straight stitch along here. Okay. Getting that there, that's getting that down. Now, I think even though that's flapping up, I can probably use the buttons to do something with that. Well, that little one could go there, couldn't it? All right, let's do this one. We'll work from there. Creasing, crossing. Now, something I did on my large work on Thread Thursday was a pistol stitch out, and I really liked the effect from the button, so I'm going to do a couple of those. I don't get messed around. Right, pistol stitch. I remember when I first, on this channel, maybe it was a year ago, learnt about pistol stitch, and I kept calling it piston stitch. And it's really interesting to realise how far you've come. It's gone round the button. Oops, I didn't mess that up. No. How much you've learnt in. All right, so I think I started. I think I've been now doing embroidery and stuff for a year. I think it's a year now. And I think my channel's now been going at least a year and a half, maybe two even. I think, no, I had my 1 year mark, so I must be just coming up to a year of embroidery, because I think one of the first things I started was one of the 100-day challenge, and I did it with Rachel, and alongside Rachel. There. I do like that effect. It's a bit spiderwebby, isn't it? All right, let's leave that there. I'm going to do a French knot here. Five twisty French knot. And I'm going to do a little bead. I don't know if this will go through. No, I'm not going to do a little bead there. I will do a sequin. Alright, if I'm going to start mucking around and putting little beads in, I need to change up my needle. That goes through. Alright, so let's change the needle up. That's still going to depend on whether the needle still goes through with the thread in it through the bead, which it may or may not. No idea where my glasses are. Yep. Oh well. It's like Wobby World. It's like I can't see a thing. Honestly. And all right, I'm getting my glasses. Oh, seriously. Right, I've got my glasses. I've got a very tiny little skinny needle. I still can't see with the glasses on. I mean, it's like it's, you know, the little hole in the needle is so blurry I can't even see where this little thing is going. Oh, actually, I might not even be able to get this. I might not be able to get the thread through. No, I don't think so. All right. Oh, this is crazy. But this one's a very straight one, but the little eye is just that little bit bigger. Maybe I can get the thread through, and then we'll see if I can get a bead through. So, I don't think I've talked about this. What I discovered was a magazine called Piecework, and I've been reading a lot of articles. I might have mentioned it because I was talking about different studies that I'm doing, studying things. Oh, that's good, that went in. And they had a free magazine. Oh, there we go, got it. Now let's put that over the edge of that. Do I want it like that, or do I want it under? It's got, all right, so piecework, it's got knitting, crocheting, but embroidery and stuff, all sorts of things, but a lot of it, it's American, a lot of it has a whole heap of just old things. Like I was looking at Afghani socks and the patterns for things that I would not have any idea about. So that's been fascinating, just in my spare times, having a little read up of a few little articles in there and just enjoying the whole world that I had knew nothing about a year or so ago, and now feel like I'm part of it. All right, that's coming along. Now, I think wasn't there another yellow sequin? Oh, there's a clear one. All right, so we've got to come up through the back first before we do that. And the bead. Come back through there. It's wonderful. I'm going to put one more French knot there. And then let's see about these other buttons. Anyway, I quite just thinking about it and looking back and thinking about some of the articles I'm reading about women's stories and things that women would gather to do together. And Lily just lent me a book that's written by a lady about the history of women gathering to do things together, whether it's gardening or sewing or embroidery or whatever. So it's a more sociological book. So I haven't started reading that yet, but I'm going to. I'm looking forward to that. Okay, don't put things down before you've looked. that's quite thick, but this is really big. So I think this is too big. I'm thinking it throws it out of balance for me. I kind of like the idea of clustering them together, but then that feels a bit empty. But I sort of like that in that little space there. But if I put that one up there, then I think I'm going to have to do a lot of French knots to fill in here. But that's also getting this... All right, well, look, could go over here too, couldn't it? Get outside the box, Christina. Oh, that's a bit more creative to me. All right. What about... All right, this one. Right, I'll tie this off. That will give me a little bit more room to play without pulling things tight. Oh look, there's something in that hole too. What was it? It's just nothing. It's a little dot of something. All right, if this one's going down here, maybe I could try the one where you tie it on. Three times. Fumble fingers. Let's see if I can do it. Fumble fingers. 1, 2, 3. All right, I like that. That doesn't need to be too long, does it? And do it through here. There. Righto. Now, oh, it's nice on the other side, but that's got, it says, Li-Ning, L-I-Ning. Maybe it's a button that was on a particular clothing that's a particular brand. You never know, do you? Just never know. Right, this is coming over here. I think I'll match the crosses by going crossways on it. It is a nice simple one with just the buttons, but it still is got its own merits, being pretty. Stick a bit of lace on. Alright. Now, what would it be like? I think that's a bit dark, isn't it? I was thinking of putting in some of the blue, but I just think maybe it'll be a bit too dark. Does it detract from the buttons, these? I think the buttons still stand out. I still like them. I think I would like to probably do a whole heap of French knots up here, fill this in. Maybe this will be the green. Some French knots in the green. Perhaps. Look, there's a few more. This might be a bit tacky. There's some butterflies. Clear plastic butterflies. And there's some bit more orangey. There's nothing like getting a new bag of things that you want to just play with and explore. Alright, I like those. I like those there. I'm just seeing this tiny weeny little heart. A little heart sequin. Oh, how cute. And I thought I saw some other teeny tiny little sequins. There's a blue bead. Don't actually think I want to fill it up so entirely. Obviously it's a bit exciting to find new things, but I definitely don't want to overkill it. I think I might save that little heart. So I think I'm going to have to go through the bag, because there's another little heart. I have to go through this bag and find, are they all the same colour? They could go down the side here. I might have to separate them out. I do like the butterflies though. I'll have to decide. Alright, I might actually stop for a minute, walk away and come back and see what works. I'm just going back in and adding a little bit of green on this one, just from the centre out, just to add a little bit of interest. I guess there's lots of different ways to work with buttons. I put one butterfly on with 2 beads. But you can't really see it, so it's a bit pointless. If the beads weren't there, you probably wouldn't know it was there. I only did a little bit more. I just thought I was going to clutter it up if I went overboard, and I put the 2 little hearts with 2 little beads, and I realised, so speaking about buttonholes, one of the articles is about a buttonhole sampler, so I'm looking forward to having a little bit of a go on some of those. Maybe Anne's already got, she's probably got that coming up, because I often find I look at things and go, oh, I want to try that, and then she'll do it. So we've done buttons, so maybe buttonholes are coming up, because she did say something about the little scissors. But I found this, so I'm going to try a couple of these. That's just an aside, but for now I think that's tag 34 done. I like it. And I like that I have, every time I look at this, I'll remember this particular moment of avocado staining this bit of white work and that backing, and also a whole heap of paper. And also I'll remember that it was the first time ever, and I'll never do it again, that I put an envelope in the oven with paper to dry and the little plastic window shrunk up. What a memory. All right, that's it for tag 34 or 35. What are we up to? 34 or 35? What was the last one? Was, yeah, 35. This is tag 35. And I'm going to put it on here. Let's have a look how it looks. There it goes. They're lovely. I like that. Okay, that's it. I will see you soon. Thanks for watching and bye for now.